For people who have been toying with the idea of upgrading from either free or regular premium LinkedIn to Sales Navigator, what's some of the functionality there that you find clients find really valuable and that makes a difference to what they're able to achieve on LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's a really powerful platform. It is not necessarily LinkedIn. It's another platform that they acquired and they've folded in. So just be aware of that. But from a search perspective, if you really understand how to filter and refine your searches, you can use it to find ideal opportunities, whether it's companies. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll work with a client and come up with a list of ideal companies that they want to connect with that makes sense for their business objectives. And then we will use that as an account list and we will search that against a certain like job title or role or something like that. So some kind of trigger that will find people. So I think from a search capability, it's outstanding. And you can also track different things from an engagement perspective. They have really done some good work in terms of how you can organize your searches and then what they call leads, which are really, prospects, leads, whatever the terminology, they're people, they're profiles, and then accounts are actually companies. So I think that I would say to people, don't sign on until you actually know why you want to use it, because it's at $100 a month. It's not cheap, and I think that it does give you some of the features that the premium gives you. Premium, I think, is like $50 or $60 a month here in the U.S., which gives you 90-day profile views. So if you don't check who's looking at your profile, why have it? It increases some limits, but there's workarounds for that, So I would say first have a plan. And usually when I'm onboarding a client, we don't activate Navigator until the profile is optimized. And at that point, then we'll start to build the Navigator searches, based on, it could be an event, it could be, different things that we're looking for, but we find that the robust search features are pretty cool. There's another thing they have in there, which is smart links, which is a really great way if you don't have like a like a lead gen mechanism on your website, and say you have a piece of valuable content, a PDF or something, you can then have people click it and LinkedIn tracks it. And so you can see who's looked at it, what pages they've looked at, how long they've spent on it. So I think it's a good way to get some intel. And there's also a really good home feed that you can set up to find different bits of information. Who's changed jobs, who's in the news, who is on the move, in terms of doing things, getting funding, they've got another seed round of funding, things like that. So there's a lot of work in setting it up, and that's where I've gotten trained, is how to set that up properly. And then once it's running, but here's the caution, and I say this to everybody, just use the regular LinkedIn messaging, because if you decide you don't want to keep paying the $100 a month or whatever it is, and you're doing messaging, everything's gone. You'll lose it. And I think it's really important to have a message trail, because there's people, I just got a message from somebody 25 months ago. We were engaging and he just said, hey, I'm so sorry, I was supposed to do this and 25 months have passed. And I'm like, I would have never known that had I not seen the whole message trail. So be aware that it is a separate platform, and that when you set it up, you want to do most of your engagement on the regular LinkedIn.
Absolutely, yeah. I've had clients lose, reams and reams of past interactions from precisely that, from having downgraded from Sales Navigator. And I believe I'm right in saying, Judi, that even if you then upgrade again, the previous interactions you had from earlier periods when you were subscribed to Navigator, they're lost for good. I don't think they come back when you turn the subscription back on.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Seinfeld episode too, with the way LinkedIn handles data. It's very easy to get data in. So you can get data in, you can create these searches, you can do all this stuff in Sales Navigator and LinkedIn, but you can't get it out. Even if you connect it to your CRM, and that's the highest enterprise accounts that are like, $1,000, $1,500 a month per seat, it's very hard to get it out. So it's just one of those things where, that's why you need a strategy. Why am I using this? What is the expected outcome? How will I measure that? And how long will I do this? And in my own personal use, I've bought the year membership because it was a little bit cheaper, because I use it in business, but again, if it doesn't make sense for you, don't do it.
Yeah,